Hey, I'm Ava Laura.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is Black Leave America podcast, where we highlight holistic wellness, travel, mental health, and self-care through traveling outside of America to reconnect and rediscover who you are. It's time for us to leave any condition that disrupts our peace. Black Women Leave America opens your eyes and explores new ways of living, but more importantly, new ways of being. Because sometimes you have to leave in order to find yourself. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Black Women Leave America, the live edition, reaction edition. I'm your host, Ava Laura, and
hey there, y'all. This is Jessica coming to you straight from the CA.
What's the CA?
California.
Just in case they didn't know. Like, what? Oh, what country is that?
The USA. How about that? Coming from the USA.
You know, somebody would ask that. What country is the CA?
California.
Oh,
oh, goodness.
It's good to see y'all. It's good to be back. Do you know, I literally had to just sit through our intro. How many times did it play? 5, 6 times? I said, what in the world is happening? Y'all, let me tell you something. The behind the scenes is hilarious. I thought it was like one big run on, like it was never going to stop. I have memorized our intro. I was like, what is happening here? How many times do I have to listen to this?
Oh, goodness. So yeah, anyway. Thank you all for coming to our podcast. And today we're going to be talking about goodness.
So let me tell you what's so funny. So we're gonna be talking about The Real Housewives of Dubai is out. Yay! Jessica doesn't do reality TV. I do. I got a little ratchet, so I do some. I can't take all of it. Like y'all go off the deep end. I can't do all the things, but I do watch the Housewives of Dubai because I love to see Dubai. I love to see the fashions. I love to see where they're going. I love to see what they're eating. All the drama I could do without, but it's just a glimpse into Dubai. So I do watch Dubai. So we're going to talk about that. We don't know how much we can show you without, having to pay some bills over here. So we're just going to show you some of it. But it was some interesting things that came out of the first episode of season 2.
Right.
I was like, what is she? I love to see what Ayana's gonna wear because you just don't know. You don't know what you gonna wear.
I like her though. I really like her character. Or her person.
Character, right? Like she's a whole person for her character that she's playing for this show.
I am not trying to get in trouble. That I promise you. I am not trying to get in trouble, but I really like her. And I love the way she dresses, like you said. I love that she's always just like, and I'm here for it. I am totally here for it. I love it.
She'd be all the way wrong sometimes, but I love how unapologetic she is in her wrongness. She just wrong.
I don't
be wrong, and don't care. But I will say, when somebody can get her in the right space and time and explain, she does own up to her stuff. She does. She will take the accountability. You got to get her in the right place, but she will do it.
Yeah. So let's go through each of the folks on here. How about that? Because I don't know these people. The last show that I watched was the Braxton Family. So that's, if that tells you how long it's been since I watched reality TV. The old Braxton Family. So yeah, anyway. But look at all the pretty Bali. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, Dubai. Yeah, that I like to see Dubai. I don't even know all the characters. Don't ask me all their names because I don't care about all of them.
Oh goodness. Well, it looks like there's a lot of drama.
There's always a lot of drama. So, let's talk about now. Ayan is one of them, and then I can't remember. Was it Brooks? not Brooks. No, not Brooks, because Brooks has small kids. I think it was Caroline, their arch enemy. Like they go back and forth with not liking Caroline and Caroline not liking them. No, not Caroline. I don't know. See, I'm getting them all messed up. I
I
don't know.
thought I did a little,
Anyway, I know Ayan was one of them, particular. So her son is, she has the older sons. One is getting ready to go to college, right? And
Mhm.
she was saying how he was coming, to America. And
Yeah,
she was really worried. And so it's interesting, some of the same things that a lot of the women that we interview come in and talk about on the show. She said it, she loves her kids being in Dubai. There's no crime. They don't have to worry about them. They can go and hang out and they're not concerned that anything is going to happen to them.
right.
And she didn't want him going to America for college because she was concerned about his safety and she just wanted to be able to keep him close and keep him in Dubai where she knew he was safe.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting to hear that point of view, and for her to. And what's funny is she's like, see, because here they take their own cabs, they have their own taxis. I'm like, yet you're afraid for him to go to America? Interesting, very very interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And we've heard that I don't know how many times. And,
right,
it's so interesting, I think, because, when you're American and you're kind of used to it, it's not something that I've spent a lot of time like thinking about, like worried about the safety. It's just kind of, you're just used to it. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it's like as long as you're in a safe neighborhood, like that there's issues, right? But like I've never lived in a neighborhood where I didn't, well, except for when I was at Howard, when I was in DC in the hood, when DC was the quote unquote murder capital of the country. Okay. Maybe I didn't feel as safe then. But any other point in my life, I have not been in neighborhoods where I didn't feel safe. So
mhm,
that hasn't been a concern of mine because even though there are issues and there are places that are not safe, I was not in any place where I didn't feel safe. And so sometimes I forget how
mhm,
much of a concern that is for a lot of people because a lot of people are in neighborhoods that are not that safe or not as safe if they think they should be, or maybe it's not the safety of the neighborhood but they have a heavy, police presence or something like that, and we all know we don't feel safe around police.
right. Right. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot to consider when we talk about United States and safety, right? But like I said, I had that like, oh, like when she said, oh, because he takes his own
Yeah,
thing here, and then what is he gonna do there? And it's like, well, he'll kind of do the same
same
thing,
thing.
and, take
The
his
same thing.
and, but she was like, they're safe here. We feel, and I was just like, wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Because while Ava Laura has felt safe, I have definitely been in places where I was supposed to feel safe and not feel safe, right? So, or
Mm,
just the concern and safety for my children. So just, I remember right after the whole George Floyd thing, what happened, and my son is super duper tall. I was really afraid for him to go out, and I like almost
mm,
had an anxiety attack when we had policemen's like
yeah.
outside, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I felt like I needed to protect him, right? So there was a lot of anxiety that I was just feeling around that time, around him being out in public eye, and folks maybe thinking that whatever, just because he's tall and he's like the sweetest guy ever, right? So it's a lot when you consider, having your babies out here in
Yeah.
these elements. But I was talking to Ava Laura before we got started, and when they were looking up at colleges, a lot of them were saying, "Oh yeah, they want to go to college in America," but they don't know how to live in America. But I was like, "Do they
That
have a
is interesting. They don't want to go to colleges where they are or
card?"
even
Right.
another country. They want to go to college in America. So what is that really about? You know, because dare I say we don't have the best education system here. So
Right.
is it you go to Harvard and just, the world is your oyster kind of thing? You
Right.
know what I mean? It's
No,
the
right.
perception of it all. Because
Mhm.
they have amazing universities in other countries. So, I thought that was really interesting too. Like, we're gonna live here, but this is where we're going to go to school.
Cool, right? And I think it's marketing. like we talked about before, right? How they kind of sold us the American dream. I think they kind of sold that the colleges are somehow, and that's not to say that they're not. But colleges. I have a completely different view of college now than I definitely had when my daughter went
That's a
5
whole
years ago. So
that's a whole discussion right
yeah,
there.
just that in and of itself, I'm kind of like,
Yeah, I have my views.
yeah.
And I can have my views because I went to college twice. It feels like, yeah, twice. Thank God I didn't get my PhD. I got my master's degree and, my bachelor's. I'm glad I didn't go back for a PhD. My God.
So I've been thinking about going back for my master's, and I am not on erring on the side of yes with
And
that.
why? What's the benefit?
Right, right. And so I think the benefit is more of a sense of accomplishment and, things to that effect that in order for you to do certain things in different spaces, they
Hmm.
require you have a piece of paper that says that you have passed their requirements. But I think we're at a place in the space now in society where it's like that requirement mean what? Because when I talk to that person, I'm finding out that they passed their requirement at test, but they're not as far as the sharpest.
Oh, that's always been the case. That has always been the case. I mean,
So,
some of the least educated are the most educated.
right,
Okay. Read
right,
that back. Some of
right.
the least educated are the most educated.
Right. I mean, because I was looking at Serena. Did you watch the Serena Williams story? What is it called? Her dad, King Arthur, or whatever, Will Smith.
I saw that a while ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it was
saw,
on
I just
HBO.
watched
Yeah.
it recently. It took me a while. But he was not the most educated person. But look at his
Mhm.
girls, right? Like he was definitely on top of just finding out where they needed to go and where they needed to be in order to be.
One of them went to Howard. She was actually my ex-husband's friend.
Oh wow!
One of the
So,
sisters.
and I
Mhm.
didn't know there were sisters.
Yeah. Oh, there's a gang of them.
Right,
They
right.
all they all play tennis.
That's crazy.
They
So anyway,
all play
I say
tennis.
all of that to say, in relation to what we're talking about, that the education system and things like that, that doesn't necessarily dictate the success of the individual. So the fact that they want to come here is kind of like, but I think that that's the ideal of the marketing. Like I said, it's
Hmm.
the interpretation or because like I thought of New York in a certain way before I went there, and then I went there and I was like, oh,
Sorry. Sorry, New Yorkers.
right. I was
I
like,
love New York. I would never in my life ever
no,
live
I
there.
liked it. It was fun. It
Ever.
was great. It was fun.
Ever.
It just wasn't what I saw on TV. It was something different.
Oh no. I mean, it's cold, it's dirty, people are
Right?
rude, it's expensive. Like it's. But I
Yeah.
mean, hell, Broadway, Times Square. I don't. New York
Right.
pizza.
Right. Well, we had the nastiest New York pizza. But anyway, that's beside.
Well, yeah, that's
Back to Dubai. But the imagery that they show on this show, amazing. Like they went and paid pickleball. I was like, I want to go play
I
pickleball.
know, right? Now you want to play, and it's like all you gonna do is get all the stuff and then play once, and that's it. Like it's so ridiculous.
This is so.
Um, I do want to say something about the degrees, though.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna go into my whole soapbox because I can't. But Black women like are the most degreed up human beings on the
True.
planet.
True.
Like it's like anytime we feeling down, oh, I'm gonna get a degree. Oh, I don't know, imposter syndrome. I don't know, I can do this. I'm gonna get a degree. Oh, I'm
Right.
trying to get this promotion. Oh, let me go ahead and get another degree. We don't need all these damn degrees. Like you are enough. You know enough. Your presence is enough. You don't need another degree. Okay, I'm done.
And with that being said, I guess that was the message sent straight from above. So um and even with the conversation we had earlier, that even more made me feel like it's like, girl,
Some of the least educated people are the most educated.
You want me to do for this for how much?
When you
What's
when you take that, just go ahead on and credit it. Ava Laura Gaither
your
quote, please. Just
Yeah.
thank
So,
you.
anywho, I've been looking at pickleballs all over because I'm like, I want to play now. And I want to
And
get.
so if you don't know what we're talking about, they actually had a
Oh,
scene
let me
where
see. Like,
they played pickleball in the Real Housewives of Dubai, and
yeah,
they had all the clothes. It was cute.
it was cute.
It was cute.
It was major cute.
Just something else for us to spend money on and do once, and then be like, okay, I did it for the gram, and I'm done. Anyway,
Which I don't.
so
I don't know if we even have pickleball in the states. Like,
I never heard of pickleball until them.
so this is Lisa. Um, but yeah, they were doing it, and I was like, oh, I want to wear a cute tennis skirt and go out there and jump around.
Why are we like this?
I
That,
don't
that
know.
was like so. That was like Ion, like right. She doesn't. She was saying Lisa was saying how Ion is not a sports person whatsoever. It's crazy. It's then she that's just genetics. She doesn't work out. She doesn't like any of that. But she wanted to play because she wanted to be out there and look cute.
Right? And she was like, "You got other friends, and y'all have conversations." But I also feel like that's a great place for networking too.
Yeah,
So,
it's like golf, and I
right?
much prefer golf.
And you prefer golf,
I
right?
love golf.
Right.
I miss golf.
See, she
Yeah.
got a whole paddle babes, and she's like, and I was like, "Oh, I think I can go out there and hit some balls." Anyway,
Like, what were we talking about tennis? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So they have sports over there that we clearly don't have that are
yeah,
good.
right,
So maybe
right.
we do. Comment below. Like, have you seen pickleball here? Because I've never seen it.
I've never
But
seen
they
it,
definitely have like a lot of sports overseas that we don't
but they
play,
have like a
or
whole
they're
thing.
not big here. But we might play them here, but they're not big here, and they're big overseas.
They have a whole thing dedicated to it though, too. Like that whole
That's
place is like
crazy.
dedicated to it. This is another part that I think I wanted to talk to you about since you are like the wellness guru. And I don't know this chick's name, this one. Um, and then she was talking about like just her
Oh
wellness.
dear. Sarah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and like, going through
Sarah's
that.
a little problematic. Yeah, she's a little problematic.
Yeah, I kind of felt that. And I was just like looking at this and I'm like,
I don't know why she's still on the show. Like seriously, all she does is add drama. How are you supposed to be like the peaceful healing wellness person and all you do is add drama? I don't that's just not a good look. She
it's
should
not.
remove herself from the show. Like it's got to be destroying. I mean, I know she's making money, but is it not messing with your brand, boo? Like come on. Like I don't understand. And it's sad. Like I felt like first season, I feel like she had the best intentions. And mind you, again, it's a lot of drama. They all are doing it to each other. So there's no
Right,
like, this person is right, this person is wrong. They all be wrong at least once in a while.
right.
But my problem with Sarah is that she's supposed to be the wellness person. And it's like she don't understand. She don't understand nothing. And like, how do you put yourself in these situations where you come off looking real shady and you come off looking like you're hurting other people when you were supposed to be helping them?
Help,
She's
help.
very judgmental
Right.
and she's very, you know, because she's been through her journey. And we all know people like this, right? If you know people like this, post in the comments, right? They've been through some stuff. So because they've been through some stuff, like they are like the poster child for it. So nobody, they know what they're talking about with all of this stuff because they've been through some stuff and you can't say nothing about it. And so they are like crazy judgmental when it comes to that space because they are now the experts. That's how she is.
My problem
Yeah,
was
she's just
that
looking
she
down on everybody. And then I'm like, for you to be an expert, you should also see that people are human and everybody's growing at different places. And some people ain't growing at all, they stagnant. And it is what it is. You don't have to like it, but you should understand it. And she act like she can't understand, like, because human beings don't operate like that. No, humans are human. And you trying to act like you something else. But anyway, yes.
I knew you was gonna have something to say about. I knew you were gonna have something to say about that.
I mean, I always tell people like I can't help you heal if I'm judging you. And if
mm,
you're so busy trying to help people and say all the things wrong with them, you have to stop judging them. Yes, they are all problematic. They all have issues, but stop judging if you are going to try to help them. Because if you're just going to judge, then just judge.
yeah.
But don't try to judge and help.
Oh, right. Another interesting point. The boys playing soccer and her like saying she's raising them to take care of her. I thought that was interesting because I'm like, well, I thought her husband had all the money, but she's like, that's our retirement plan. I'm like,
She need to get some girls because boys don't take care of people. We all know that, Jessica. You have boys and girls. Women are we are the nurturers, right? If
oh,
you want somebody to take care of you when you get old, you need to have girls.
listen, I just literally had a conversation with my son about him getting up and working out because I'm like, dude, you cannot just lay here all day
It is what it is. Like, I accept human nature as it comes. You know what I mean? There's no shade because boys have their purpose, but it's not caretaking. I mean, they might go out and make the money, but they're not going to be taking care of you.
Well, that's Ava Laura's thoughts on that. I just thought it was interesting that she said that when I was like, I thought her husband was making enough money, but then I was like, but I understand she don't want her
It
husband.
is, but generational wealth, right? You do want to raise
Right,
your children
right.
so that they can make their own money. Because I that's a whole nother conversation too. Like I literally just had this conversation with a colleague. How these kids now, they ain't ready. They ain't ready. They won't leave the house.
No, no,
That's why we got to move overseas so we can afford to have your grown kids still living with you because they won't leave.
and don't and then want to get cop attitude about paying something.
Right, and then they act like they got rights. I'm like, I'm sorry that you're a freaking young adult, but you still live here.
Yeah,
So go move somewhere else if you want to have those rights. I left my parents' house at 18. You couldn't tell me nothing. I could do what I wanted to do. I was out the house.
yeah,
I
yeah,
could play grown out the house. When you still live in the house, you're not grown.
yeah. And there's a lot of
I'm
stuff that
sorry.
come along with that. That's why I was like, that's a lot that come along with that being grown now. A lot of bills and a lot of
Right. You
responsibility.
can't pay your bills, you're not grown.
That's there you go, and there you go. Anything else we want to touch on in this episode of?
You know, they're gonna be like, this doesn't have nothing to do with travel, but this is hilarious. Uh, you know how we do. Listen, if you have been watching us a while, you know how we do. If you've been watching us a while, put in the comments, yes, I love y'all. People DM me, Jessica. They DM me on TikTok, on Instagram. I appreciate the love, but can you please send messages in YouTube? It boosts the algorithm. If you love our show, please comment on the shows. I appreciate the DMs, but you don't need to DM me. Comment on the shows and let us all know. We need to love, boost the algorithm, help us to get more followers, help us to get more viewers, share us with other people who might love us. But we do real talk over here. I have other podcasts and other things, and this is the one I decide to, we just gonna be real over here. The other ones I need to care. But
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
why you have your own stuff.
This is why you have your own stuff. There was one chick. I do want to talk about her before we go out. She moved from LA and she used to work with a bunch of like high profile artists and things in LA before she moved to Dubai. I don't
Is
know her
she
name.
the new one?
I think
Because
she's.
there's a new person and I don't know her.
Let me. I'm trying to find her in the. Yeah, I think she's the newer person.
Yeah, I
Uh,
haven't figured out her story yet, how that's gonna evolve and all that good stuff.
yeah. Let me see. Let me pull it up. So this is Caroline.
Caroline,
I do
they
like Caroline dresses though. I
they
love her clothes.
love hate like yeah.
Taylene, that's her name.
Yeah, she's new. I don't know her.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so apparently she is, I think this is the one that moved from LA to.
So that'll be interesting. Hopefully, they will ask her to kind of, talk about some of the differences. I mean, it feels like Dubai is kind of like the LA of, you know what I mean?
It does
It
look
has
a
that
little.
vibe.
It does. It really does. Which I think is why she, you know, I think that's why she made that transition kind of. She said she didn't say it was very smooth, but she said that's her husband. They kind of met in LA,
Mhm.
and then he moved her to Dubai, but she was kind of doing her own music thing. And then she met this homegirl, and then they kind of became like besties, and they were kind of running around and stuff. And she was saying that she missed LA.
Yeah.
Dubai was like a better fit as far as like, money wise, right? They can make more money. The way that they live. One of the gals is building a house there, and I know she's from America.
Yeah, she's been building it forever. So she was saying like they're staying with people now because when
Mm-hmm.
it was supposed to be like 2 weeks and like it keeps going.
Turn into something else.
Um, that's what's her name? I think that's Brooks. That's what she so she got married. She married a much younger man. Um
I was, and that was, I was like,
oh, she married a much he's like, I don't even know how old he is. He's a much younger man. Yeah, that's an interesting situation.
yeah, I thought that was interesting because I'm new to the space, y'all. So I'm new to the Housewives of Dubai. I just kind of came across it happenstance.
You
Uh,
know what's so funny too? This is hilarious. Like I love synchronicity. Like I love how you're in alignment. So Jessica sends me a DM on Facebook, and I s- you I don't even know if I saw the message come through. I probably wasn't even paying attention to it. I happened to be, checking Peacock, which I never check because we got Peacock free, so I don't even look at it.
right, right.
And I was like, "Ooh, the Real Housewives of Dubai is out." So I start watching it. And then after I watched it, I checked Facebook and I had a message from Jessica. Hey, you want to talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai? I was like, I was literally just watching it.
That is weird.
Crazy. I would literally had just and didn't even know it was out.
Crazy. That
Y'all's alignment. So y'all supposed to like this episode because we were supposed to talk about this
we were.
in
And then
the
she was
car.
like, we gotta talk about it soon. I was like, okay. Because
And then,
yeah,
and then the second episode didn't come out. I don't know what happened to the second episode this week.
no, but that's the only way I'm gonna be able to watch it. If it's on YouTube. So
There we
yeah,
go.
and there you go. But there are some really beautiful images of Dubai on there. To Ava Laura's point, the reason why I even watch is because I can see elements of Dubai, but it really does have an LA vibe. I
Yeah.
I haven't been to Miami yet, so I don't know if it kind of fits that type of vibe.
Miami is a more because it's the water,
Okay,
right? So it's a more beachy vibe.
yeah,
But it does have like that posh. Now, if we're talking about South Beach, right?
okay,
Yes.
okay.
But no, I would say more LA because
Right.
LA doesn't have that beach vibe.
What was I gonna say? Um the weather. I was noticing that the weather was around 98 degrees. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, we kind of get a little bit of that here, right? So it wasn't extremely hot, but they were saying when they were recording that, like, oh, yeah, this is like different times. So I was like, oh, okay,
Right. Like it wasn't summer
this
yet.
is summer. So if that's not their
Speaking
summer,
of which, oh my God, Jessica, we have to talk about it. The dryer incident. Can we
so
talk about dryer gate?
okay, so we're going to transition now. That's our Dubai review. What exactly is happening with the dryer on TikTok? Because I didn't read a lot of the messages, and I also saw on YouTube that we had a couple of comments.
It
What
was
exactly?
hilarious. Okay, so I did read some of them, and I did. Essentially, a lot of people are saying they don't have dryers.
Oh, okay,
They don't have dryers,
okay.
and a lot of them are saying, I mean, it's the desert. Like it's gonna dry faster than a dryer.
Oh,
That, one person even said we were whining. I had to check them because they're retarded. Like, because we're not whining, we're having a discussion, right? But what I thought, but see, but and to the people, to the point of people who were going to be negative and criticizing us and da da da. Now there was a lot of love too. Like not everybody's like that, thank God. The whole point of this, right, is that we learn from each other.
Right.
Americans have dryers.
Right.
Like a lot of us have washers and dryers in our home.
Right.
And when you have an expensive home, you have an expensive washer dryer.
Right.
So for this woman to be paying, I don't remember, it was like $3,000-$4,000 a month, which would be considered expensive,
Right.
you would expect that there would be all the amenities of
Right.
that. And
Right.
so Dubai culture is different, which again is really cool. That's what we're learning. That's what we talk about. That's what we love. So Dubai culture is different where that's normal not to have a dryer. That's
Mm-hmm.
not normal here.
Here. Right. Right. So I can't remember, but you guys, what we're talking about is a post that we put up on. It was on TikTok, right?
It was on TikTok and went viral.
It was viral on
And then it was also on here on YouTube.
YouTube.
And yeah, it also it didn't go viral, but it got a lot of hits. And I was just like, the one thing, Jessica and I were laughing about this. Like we say so much, right? And
Right.
some of it's like really profound, like we have some really, I think, really interesting, really insightful conversations. And this one was just like so dumb. It was not even anything. And this is the one that goes viral.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope these people don't think this is like us. This was like one moment in time.
This is
And
our
it was
podcast
like,
content, right? Like seriously, this is not our podcast content. But it's interesting too because you never know what'll hit a port. That's what my love hate relationship with social media. One of the things I love is that you never know. So I've really gotten to a habit of posting my drafts and posting just randomness of things because you never know what is going to take off and what's going to hit. Like I have a post right now that I posted 8 months ago, 6 months ago, somewhere around in there. That post is now going and being shared over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, y'all keep it coming because that means that money's coming. Monetization is going to happen, right? So you never know when any of your videos are going to take off. You never know what people are going to resonate with or what they're going to comment on. Like literally, I think Ava Laura said "dryer" or something. You said in there that was it.
so I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. Talking about all my degrees. I don't look degreed in that video. I don't.
She's like, I almost wanted to. I'm like, no, leave it alone. Let it roll. Because it brought more people to our channel, right? It brought more people to our page. We got more subscribers, all the things. So,
Yeah, there's that. I had to address that. I had to address it. There was a lot of comments. There was no way. There was just no way.
we do need to go respond to some of those at some point, though. Some point,
Oh my goodness. It's way too many.
because it just helps the algorithm. I need to I'll sit down and do a couple. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
so share out our insightful, profound stuff. So, we need
please.
balance. We need balance in the world. We need balance.
You actually need to do a couple because you probably need to redeem your.
I was like, why?
So y'all remember this? That's not me, okay? And it was like just focused on you. I was like, that's
It
hilarious.
was horrible. Oh no, then they were talking about the woman. I remember one of the guys, he was like, that's a bad BBL. And I was like, see, why we gotta do this? Why? Right. Why are people so mean?
People are mean.
Oh,
And it's always the sad with their life, coming and commenting. I'm like, do y'all know that actually that helps? Like, you bad
that
comments.
right. All them negative comments, I just let them stand because they do boost the algorithm.
Girl.
But I don't know why y'all got to be so mean.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, I did not encounter that until YouTube.
Same.
I've never on all my social media platforms,
Same.
like people are nice. And if they have something to say, they don't say it. I don't know it because they don't say it on my
I
page.
think YouTube
But
does.
YouTube is like open season. People just come out and just be mean for the sake of being mean.
If you are on
Like,
that,
I'm not happy with my life. I'm gonna just make negative comments on people's stuff.
if you're on the FYP and they don't like, and they got something to say, they will say.
Like,
They
it's
not
not
wrong.
even necessary. But you know what? Thank you for the algorithm boost. So
Thank
there's
you for the algorithms. So yes, Real Housewives of Dubai was that one was pretty good. I gotta admit, the
yeah.
drama I don't like, but oh,
Well,
that's another thing I was gonna say with the healing person. If you are trying to heal, you probably wouldn't want to um I don't want to say promote, but like if I'm in a healing session, I'm not gonna necessarily turn on the camera in my healing session. I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it.
well, I can't speak to that. So,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
as a person who's been on Real Housewives of Potomac
But I'm
during a healing session,
saying is that part though. I feel like they were like, okay, getting rid of your exes, like that part of the.
during a healing session, that's a part of the show.
And that maybe
They,
that's
they
why
have to show what she does, and so obviously everybody's
she
signing stuff so they can air this.
she
I
does.
don't even know what she does. I didn't even. I think that's for next episode, or did they release? I don't pay attention to her, so I might have not even watched that part.
But anyway, I'm glad she is at least making the steps. But like you said, if
Yeah,
you
they have to show. She has to have some sort of a storyline, and so they have to show it.
yeah,
Now, the thing is it authentic or not? And I can say in my case, it was very authentic.
maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. It was given a feeling of like I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, I like the pictures of Dubai. I like the visuals. The visuals are amazing. The fact that it's 98 degrees in the wintertime, I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I need to go during the winter, not in the summer.
Facts. Because I'm not trying to bake in the desert.
I'm not
Although I'm
gonna.
gonna be in Morocco in the desert, but
But I was
yeah,
like, how are the kids playing soccer outside? And then it showed the weather. I was like, oh, okay, so it's pretty cool. I'm like, oh, okay.
they gonna sell a lot of Gatorade,
Oh goodness, a
all
lot of
of them electrolyte,
Gatorade,
coconut water. Yeah.
all of it, right? All right. This has been an episode of Black Women Leave America. We have the review TV show edition.
Right. Yeah. I guess we gotta change that. It is the Real Housewives of Dubai reaction video.
There we go. Right. Episode 1. I don't know. I think you know what we should probably venture into shows and movies.
I mean, I listen. I could talk about that all day long.
I was gonna say Eat, Pray, Love, but she wasn't black, so.
No, I don't. I don't. And no,
Oh, you don't like Eat, Pray, Love?
no. I hate
Oh.
it. No.
After I read her story, the real person, I was like, oh, that's where.
I mean, I like Elizabeth Gilbert. I didn't really like the book, and it did a lot. But it put Bali on the map, right? But they have not recovered all the influx of people now coming through Bali because of that book and that movie.
That movie.
Yeah,
Mm,
it is an interesting phenomenon. But okay,
interesting. Well, maybe that's a conversation, right? How?
that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys for joining us. Please like and subscribe and buy us a coffee. We will see you all in the next episode of Black Women Leave America. Anything else you want to say, Laura, before we leave out?
I'm good. We'll see you next time.
Mm.